Good day, everyone. My name is Christabel George. I'm the head teacher of Lofty Heights Schools Cafe. I'm excited to be part of the Step Up Nigeria Integrity Certification Program. As a school, we have been able to make the students' code of conduct handy so that every child can have one. And we have also worked on security of examinations. We ensure that only members of exams and record have access to the exams questions, have access to the exams record, and have access to all that have to do with examination, vetting, and the rest. And we have ensured also that exams questions are kept under tight securities before examination day. And we have worked on the aspect of conflict of interest, ensuring that when you teach a child you teach your child or your ward, that there'll be transparency in your dealings, marking of exams and recording of your ward's exams. We have also ensured that values are being taught intentionally, with emphasis, and in a creative way. They could be, some of them are in forms of class decorations, talks during assembly, and the fight of corruption and the teaching of integrity has now become a personal crusade for me.
I actually want to compliment Ms. Christabel George for her effort so far concerning the issue of exams integrity. Examination has always been a challenge in Lofty Heights School, but ever since she gained her knowledge about examination integrity, she has brought it into examinations and record, and we've looked into it and adjusted so many things. And in the aspect of exam integrity in parents, teachers, children. A teacher who has a child in a particular class, probably the class is taken, should be able to give it to other teachers to mark when it comes to examinations or assessments, just for conflict of interest, to avoid conflict of interest. So these are some of the things she was able to bring, and it was valuable in the sites of examination and record.
I am Mrs. Fadeke Badamosi, proprietress, Olivia Schools, Ikotu. Okay, so one of the things that we did after the teachers also participated in the training is integrating these values into our subjects. You know, normally our civic education subjects and social studies are supposed to have this thing, and they do have it. But now with the training that we've gotten, we now brought in some of the things that we learned into the subjects. So when they are teaching the topics, they highlight the anti-corruption campaign. Also in our assembly routine, there's a moral instruction part that we feature this also. Aside from that, in our co-curricular activities, like we learned during the certification, that we could act drama, you know, not just for entertainment, but for also teaching these values. So we make it part after we have come in contact with Step Up Nigeria.
Mrs. Fadeke, she's a very great person, a wonderful person, in fact. Okay, actually, even before the training, before she actually introduced me to the training, as in she has actually been doing a lot of things in the school. Like, it's more like her everyday thing. Integrity. In fact, it's like the food we eat in this place. When I first came in here, I'm like, this woman every time, integrity here, integrity there, and let's do this. And, you know, gradually, after some time, in almost everything we do here, when it comes to exams, she will like, scatter them, and they're like, are we writing Jambia? I don't understand. Where you have to mix from basic one, you mix everybody up, and sometimes I wonder, I said, how are these children going to write? And then now comes to basic one, and you're like, nobody is going to read to them. And I'm like, how will they write? You know, I'm so glad you actually nominated her, because when it comes to integrity, she's sure. Like, I can count on her anywhere, anytime, any day, in fact.
I am Adenike Abiola Orishanira, the assistant head teacher of Baptist Nursery and Primary School, Agua Bokolo. I was formerly at Baptist Nursery and Primary School, Gariki, Area 11, Abuja. As a school, we have been able to implement anti-examination malpractice setting arrangements, whereby we are mixing primary 3, 4, and 5 together in the same class to do the examination. I also established an anti-corruption club, whereby we have over 68 learners that are actively participating. At the same time, through the inspiration of America's Money and Alima's Foot, one of the students was able to write a story book titled Choice. And through this, it's inspired me a lot and motivates me to have known that these children, they have started acting positively and they have started acting boldly to silence corruption and to say no to corruption and to move ahead, to be able to speak the truth and to act honestly in all their doings.
Mrs. Adenike was the assistant headmistress of Baptist Nursery and Primary School. She was also my teacher. So, during my days in school, I was close to her because I love her discipline, the way she was hardworking, and all of that. So I was opportuned to get Alima's vote from her one day while I saw it on her decks. And from there, it began. After reading Halima's vote, I had this inspiration to talk to young Nigerians, and both old also, about corruption and anti-corruption, because it was going like wildfire in Nigeria. Then the choice came alive, and it talks about young Nigerians and also old Nigerians while they are corrupt, and when boldness, courage speaks against corruption.
Through our bilateral meetings with the staff. So I have one of my staff leaders that borrowed the book, Emeka's Money and Animal's Food. She took it home to train our children, which means this anti-corruption club program has gone beyond the school environment. It reaches home, and I don't even know whether another children in her compound too still borrow the book. It means everybody is now ready to say no to corruption, and we are able to welcome anti-corruption. To have that skills, we have to teach these children and to catch them young, which I will employ everybody to be ready now to work and to fight against corruption in Nigeria, in the office, at home, in the church, in the mosque, in the community, and wherever we find ourselves.